Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today it's going to be a match between Geoff and Thor Smurf here on Kairos Junction, the latter edition, a master level game sent to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com. Bottom right hand corner, red Zerg player Thor Smurf. And in the top left hand corner, the blue Terran player Geoff. Hello Geoff, hello Thor Smurf. It's going to be a good match here today, good TVZ. Masters do not get cast very often. Casted or cast? That is the question for all of my 5-year casting career. It's going to be hatch first out of Thor Smurf. Otherwise, there would be a pull down already or an extractor. Yes, there we go. The drone goes down at 16 supply and throws down a hatchery. Is the sound disabled? Whoa, the sound was off. I was wondering what was going on. It seemed a little bit weird, but that didn't really get to my brain there. But anywho, this is a very, very interesting game as far as I can tell based on the fact that one of these players sent it to me. People do not send me replays that are boring, you guys. At least not at the Masters level. And I have seen this a lot lately. Well, more than usual anyway. Why would you put your spawning pool here? Maybe for just extra vision for drops? I just have a vision of a double medevac drop of Marines dropping here, stimming, sniping off your spawning pool, and then picking up and leaving before you can do anything about it. That's why I put my spawning pool like right here, or like right here maybe, or like back here maybe. It's just easier for me to have a queen defending or a spine or some lings back here than like running all the way up here to defend this spawning pool. So I don't know. Geoff, on the other hand, is going for Marines. He is not, in fact, going for Reapers at all. Not interested. I'm doing any Reaper stuff, and SCV came down and checked the timing on that hatch and said, okay, so definitely going to be a hatch first play. Don't have to expect any lings coming out anytime soon. I love the SCV scout here from Geoff. If you don't drone scout, you guys, you are not following the Church of Falcon Paladin. It really annoys me. I love the 2 Marines here being able to try to take down this Overlord. Thanks to the help from that barracks lifting off, and losing this Overlord now hurts. It hurts for Zerg players, and so many of us are just blindly running Overlords up to this little scouting position because nobody has Marines yet. And then they die because you can just lift the barracks, get that high ground vision, and call it good. That's just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stuff there from Geoff. Meanwhile, Thor Smurf throws up the third base at about the 2.5-minute mark, as you do in the situation where your opponent has gone for a 1-Rax expand. Now, there is the 1-Rax here, but then it is the factory follow-up. So we're 1-1-1ing it with the command center in the mix. Marines scouting around for more Overlords, but Thor Smurf very intelligently keeping his Overlords at home for the most part now, recognizing the threat that a marauding band of Marines can be to his floating sacks of gas, or I guess that's how they fly, right? Is they've got helium in here or some other gas that is lighter than air. Anyway, inject! Ready, set, there's your 25 energy. Now it's time to inject. Your injects were so good you didn't have enough energy to inject yet. That's a bad feeling. I mean, they did it to give us a little bit more wiggle room as Zerg on our inject timings, but it's the worst when I'm in a rhythm and I'm ready to go inject and I don't have the resources for it. It totally sucks. Totally sucks to not have the energy for it. Anyway, are we creep spreading? Yeah, we're creep spreading a bit here. I think that first energy from the queen went out to this tumor. And then she wandered down. Did she wander down here? She wandered down here, I think, to the third base. Natural base has a queen just about to pop now. So pretty good queen management here from Thor Smurf. I would say speed just about finished from these lings, you guys. I had a ZVT the other day where I just was not harassed at all. I scouted the Terran player. He was meching, but he wasn't really harassing me at all. So I didn't bother to get speed for my lings. And then it turned out I needed them later in the game, and I made a bunch of lings, and they were slow, and I was like, oh no. It was bad. I totally intended to get speed later, but I guess at this point I should really just get speed anyway, because I'm gonna make lings at some point, you guys. You know me. You know how I play this game. And if you want to see me play this game, I did release and cast one of my own games on Patreon the other day. Patreon.com/FalconPaladin. Played a ZVP on year 0. It was a lot of fun. It was not the game where I forgot speed. Can tell you that much. I did remember speed in that game. Hey, check this action out. That is a fusion core out of Geoff. We're going to see Battlecruisers very, very prevalent in the current ZVT meta these days. Not as good against Protoss, just because Stalkers are amazing against Battlecruisers with their bonus damage versus armored and their range and their ability to shoot up. But Zerg, unfortunately, a little bit bereft of anti-air, at least as far as Battlecruisers are concerned, just because you need at least 5 queens to handle a Battlecruiser. Now, Thor Smurf's been doing pretty well with it. He's got a lair, he's got 4 queens here, he's making another one. and he is connecting his bases with creep. So what that indicates is he should be able to have enough queens to handle a battlecruiser if it jumps over here or if it walks across the map slowly, as if you're smart, that's what we should see here. Yamato cannon coming in here too. Creep spread is okay from Thor Smurf. Terran player, he's got a bunker at the front. There's really not much here other than a bunker and a tank. I kind of feel like a Roach Ravager attack would just wreck this at about 5.5 minutes here. This is not a rush to Battlecruiser. I mean, if you rush there without really doing much of anything else, you can get it out in about 4.5 minutes, 5 minutes, and have it at the Zerg base by then. But at this point, again, Battlecruisers are on the way, 2 of them, about 5.5 minutes, so a little bit late here. There are spores up in all of the mineral lines. There are queens everywhere. I like how active Thor Smurf is with his lings. He just has vision of everything. If a Battlecruiser tries to slow walk over here, it is going to get spotted. But if they just teleport, they won't get spotted, but they'll be able to get some damage done, and they won't be able to retreat. It's kind of a trade-off, which is why you don't teleport over, because if you get trapped, you just die. You cannot run away from stuff with a Battlecruiser for the most part. Queens on creep especially very fast. Battlecruiser's actually taking the time to kill this Overseer. There we go. When we know that it is in fact Battlecruiser, Spire's almost done, and Thor Smurf has enough resources to actually go for a few Corruptors here. Dang, a few Corruptors with some Queen support would be incredible against these 2 BCs. Creep Queen dies, that hurts. And some Tumors dying here too, so actually kind of using the Battlecruisers for harassment for the most part throughout this. Another Queen goes down, and an Overlord Tumor. No, the scan wears off, the scan comes back, Overlord dies, and a Tumor dies. Yeah, 6 Corruptors on the way with any amount of Queen support is going to be pretty good. Where are the Corruptors, though? They take a while to build, you guys. They're not fast building. Yamato cannon on these Queens! Remember what I said about having support? No more support. No more support. 10 Corruptors on the way, but these Battlecruisers walked over here, and as a result, they can jump out as soon as they're in trouble. This is really, really good for Geoff right now. He has taken down drones, killing Lings, killing Queens, killing Overlords, trying to supply block Thor Smurf. Hasn't been able to do it yet because Thor Smurf has 170 available supply. That is so much supply. Now, this is where the BCs take out a couple Corruptors, do what they can, and then just jump the heck on out of there and go home. That was a pretty good attack. 13 kills and 17 kills on those Battlecruisers. We got a Ling flooding, Speedling flooding across the map here. Third base for Geoff's a little bit problematic. I mean, Battlecruisers will make sure this happens, although the Corruptors are here, and actually that forces the Battlecruisers to turn away. They have not been repaired yet. Oh, I don't know if that's enough Hellions, guy. I don't know if that's enough Hellions, but without the surround, maybe it's okay. And yeah, all those Lings get wrecked. The Corruptors are getting shots off on this command center. Can they get it down in the burning stages? They're trying really hard. And one more volley should do it. And yes, it is. Yes, it is in the burning. Oh, and then they caustic spray it. All right, so Yamato cannon does kill a couple Corruptors, but a Battlecruiser gets taken down too, and the base dies. Oh my gosh, that was really, really good stuff from Thor Smurf. I guess this is one of Thor's Smurf accounts here. We know he plays video games because we have actually seen Endgame. He was more of a Fortnite guy, apparently, in that film. Anyway, should have been playing StarCraft. Come on, Thor, play a man's game. That's how this works. 6 more Corruptors in production. Battlecruisers, no more in production here for Geoff. He is producing, what, another command center? Another 2 command centers. He's trying to get off this 2 base here. It's not going very well for him. I'm just going to say, resources lost, 3,000 for Thor Smurf and 1,200 for Geoff, but where are we? Wow. All right, Corruptors. I don't know that you can do this by yourselves, you guys. Are we going for a Greater Spire? Hydralisk Den is on the way and an Infestation Pit. So he's trying to get to Greater Spire for Broodlords, but I don't know if there's enough anti-air to handle these Corruptors just kind of dancing in and just wiping out your Battlecruiser regiment. There are a couple Marines here, but that's about it. These Corruptors, I don't know what they're worried about. Thors are on the way. Thor's fantastic anti-air versus Zerg these days, now that they outrange Battlecruisers, but Thor Smurf has a 4th base happily up and running, and it looks like he's going to try to set up for a 5th here too. Recognizing that Geoff invested a ton into Battlecruisers and can't really do much with them because of the number of Corruptors that are on the field. I kind of like this. From Thor Smurf, he's looking good, and he's handling the Terran Battlecruiser stuff quite adeptly. Upgrades on the way here from Geoff. Zerg player doing the same thing, going for Hydra upgrades, going for pathogen glands, getting a hive, actually making infestors here. Boy, if he neural parasites some of these Battlecruisers, that is how you need to roll. That is the rolling play for sure. 6 o'clock position for Thor Smurf is a 5th, and it is coming up. There's really no sign of any harassment here from Geoff at all. This is how you play against a meching Terran player, as you expand a million times. because they're not going to come try to get you. And then you max out on whatever you need. It does require you to scout, though, right? A mass Thor play is going to be different from a mass Hellbat with a couple Thor play, which is different from a couple Thors and some Hellions and some Battlecruisers, you know what I mean? Army supply 79 to 62 in favor of Geoff, but again, the Corruptor Ball is just enough to handle these Battlecruisers quite handily. Sometimes supply is not all that matters, you guys. Sometimes it's what you have that really matters here. Drones long distance mining from this 5th. The Battlecruisers are coming in and ready to do some stuff. Where did the Corruptors go? Guys, you can't let them get right on top of your hatchery. These are free kills here. Go! Get in there! Oh, he's waiting. Is he waiting for the Infestors to... I guess maybe. Yamato Cannon on a couple of the Corruptors. I thought maybe they were going to go for the Infestors there, but no. The Infestors were hanging back, worried about that very thing. Neuroparasite getting started now from the Zerg player. Also, Corvid Reactor for Ravens coming in from Geoff. Some Seeker Missile would be pretty fantastic here. Actually, Anti-Armor Missile. Sometimes I call it by the old name because for the longest time it was some variation on Seeker, but not anymore. The times, they are a-changin'. Overlord Poop and Creep it where Geoff would go for a 4th base. His expansions is just not... They've been fairly good for a Mechin Terran player, right? It's just that ThorSmurf has so many bases. A 6th base is going to pop on the top right-hand corner now. He's going for all the upgrades, guys. +2 Flyer Carapace, +2 melee attack, +2 missile attack. Going for 18 drones at a time, making another Spire for further upgrades for his dudes, making 4 more Corruptors. He's just doing this exceptionally well. Now, the Thors can't chase the Corruptors away because Corruptors can't do anything about them. And plus there are enough Hellbats in here that the Lings can't handle the Thors. It's a good composition. But once the Banelings start showing up, that is where things go bad for Geoff. That said, there is not a Baneling nest. But if you see that many Hellbats, that many Hellions, you have to get Banelings. At the very least, you force the Hellions and the Hellbats to flee, in which case you can surround the Thors and kill them. But they do not want to stick around. Oh, there we go. Banelings are on the way. I'm a huge liar. Remember when I was like, there's not a Baneling nest here, and I just kind of scanned around cursorily. All right, so the Infested Terrans pop in. We've seen this tried before against Mech. Infested Terrans just die too fast. Too fast to really be of any use here. That energy would be better spent on, obviously, Neuroparasite. Even, honestly, Fungal Growth is better against this stuff than Infested Terrans are if there's any kind of ground presence at all. If it's all Battlecruisers, fine. Their anti-air is incredible versus air units. Thor Smurf takes a bottom left-hand corner here, too. He is macroing to his heart's content. His little Zergy heart is so pleased right now. 9 more Infestors in production. Geoff, I think you might be in trouble, man. This guy knows how to handle Infestors. And he's going to use them against your Battlecruisers and your Thors, and it's going to be a bad time. Hellbat's terrible against Thors. Terrible against Battlecruisers. You let's set up right here, Neuroparasite, the big boys. And then everything else dies. Is that another base? Thor Smurf, you are inspiring me in my Zerg play to just go for all of the bases in the entire world. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th base. 8 bases at 13 minutes. A 9th base coming in too. Thor Smurf's like, I'm maxed out. I've got 1,500 minerals here. Might as well expand a million times. Make sure I know where Geoff is trying to expand and shut those down too. Here comes the push, though. Here comes the push. Pathogen Glands is done, so the Infestors do pop with a whole bunch of extra energy they otherwise wouldn't have. There's your Neuroparasite on the Raven, so it can't throw down any of the missiles. The Corruptors are coming on in to deal with these Battlecruisers, and what a deal it is. More Neuroparasite being used on some of these BCs. Did he do the thing? He did the thing where he Neuroparasited the Battlecruisers and jumped them so they couldn't jump again. Neuroparasiting some of the Thors here, but the Battlecruisers are out. Now there are 18 Hydras in production. Blue Flame Hellbats and Hellions, pretty scary, but where are the Banelings at? I think I saw some Banelings in production earlier. There are 7 of them. I don't know where they are during this battle, but Geoff marching on into this hatchery. Gonna take it down with the Thors. There are the Banelings. There are not enough of them, though. You need more than 7. It's got 4 remaining, which doesn't seem like it's enough. But 17 Corruptors out. Wow. All right, so that hatch is gone. So upgrade, that's what I was checking here. +2 attack is done for the mech units. +1 armor, +2 armor is on the way now. Man, these Ravens, I don't know about this. Like, you anti-armor missile them, sure, but those aren't hurt him all that much. Geoff going for another hatchery. Now, the thing for Thor Smurf is he can afford this to some extent. He's like, you know what? I think we're good. I honestly think we're cool with losing a couple hatcheries because I have like 6 others that I'm not even mining from because I don't have enough workers to saturate them all, and I have 68 workers. Making 21 more because why not? Now, Thor Smurf, he's got the old Brood Lords, but the Thor count is a little bit scary. There are 6 of them here. They do have the +2 attack. +3 attack now getting started. Very nice on the upgrade timing from Geoff as well. Alright, so the Brood Lords, they need something to tank for them, is what they need. Hydras might be able to pull this off. Geoff, very bravely, marching on to creep here. He is killing the tumors because he's got some ravens. The upgraded servos are on the way, allowing the transforming units, some of the transforming units to transform more quickly. Hellbat's not bad, actually. Neural Parasite being used on a couple of these Thors. And they wipe out, wow, they wipe out the ravens, first of all. Trying to focus down the Brood Lords with the remaining Thors that are here, but more and more Neural Parasite is being used. The Thors are fighting against other Thors right now. Brood Lords are raining down with impunity upon this Thor army, and suddenly all of the Thors are either brain controlled or dead as this last Thor gets wrecked. Army supply 97 to 41. That is how you do, Zerg friends. That is it. Hydralisks, Corruptors, Broodlords, Infestors. The Infestors don't get credited with any kills here today. But they were as important to that battle as anything else, if not the most important thing. Basically, taking Thors away from the opponent means there are not as many to hit these Broodlords. I think, I feel like ThorSmurf needs to go for some kind of a counter here. He needs to go for an attack on one of these bases because barbecue of drones doing some stuff. Oh, the scan. You can't burrow and hide from me, says Geoff. All you little drones are going to get roasty toasty. Remember Hellbats versus buildings, how they're better than I think they are every time they try this? They are better than I think they are every time they try this. Ooh, fungal maybe? Get out. There's your fungal. Oh gosh, now they can't even run that well. Ow, ow, ow. Ooh, they transformed real fast though. That was nice. One of the Hellions did get away and then gets picked off by a Hydralisk, which is not too bad. Resources lost. 18,000 and 19,000 in favor of the turn player, just a tiny bit. This has turned into a pretty interesting game for sure. Ooh, Nidus Network. Nidus Network here from Thor. Thor re-expanding on that right side, re-expanding on the left side. He's doing such a great job re-expanding to bases that he has lost fairly recently. Geoff expanding to the top right. This seems like a pretty evenly matched game, you guys. It is not too shabby here. I am really enjoying this. I like master level stuff. If you're master level, send your games to me and I'll be sure to cast them if they're good. I will just basically give you the benefit of the doubt if they're good or not generally, especially if you're new. And if you're bad, then you're bad. That's how this works. But so far, so good from all the masters level games that have been sent my way. Hydra is going to try to take down the sensor tower. They can't really do much about the planetary fortress because there aren't enough of them. But here we go. Fungal on those Hellbats means they cannot chase. The Thor count is back up to 6 from Geoff. All right, so the Hellbats are done. That hurts a little bit. There are a couple Hellbats here, but not really enough to be a huge deal. Oh, anti-armor missile and some auto turrets getting tossed down here. Auto turrets surprisingly not that great against broodlings, as it turns out. The Neural Parasite is so good. Look at how many of these Thors are Neural Parasited right now. 4 of them. They're attacking each other, so they all die at the same time. Every one of the Thors explodes there, and that is your good game. Geoff taps out after losing a massive mech army for the second time. Oh my gosh. Incredible. What an absolutely incredible ZVT there. Thor Smurf, his APM was not that great, you guys. Average 220 in this game, okay? It's not 300, it's not 400, but man, does he know how to use these Zerg units. He really does. Once again, Zerg units aren't great at getting huge numbers of kills. They just kind of work together and team up for individual kill counts. And plus, they die real fast. They don't stay alive very long. But yeah, man, that was incredible. Just like my mech army is entirely countered by your Neural Parasites. I was watching Fatty stream the other day, and he's been playing Zerg to learn how to defeat them. And he ran against a meching Terran player and was like, how do I beat this? And I'm like, honestly, it's Neural Parasite. Like, you got to get comfortable with Infestors. I know it's hard, especially at the lower levels. If you're Platinum, especially, it's like, I have to use a Spellcaster and really Infestors. And it's like, yeah, you really kind of have to do it. or else your army gets run over by this particular composition. I've died to it trying to go just Broodlords and like Hydras. It's not enough. You got to actually turn the big ticket items against their enemies, against themselves there. So this is a sneaky twofer, by the way. Don't go anywhere. We have another game from Geoff coming up. But yeah, it's going to be a good one. But yeah, that was just a good example, almost a primer on how to deal with mech if you're a Zerg player. It's hard to do, but in the end, look at this. 25,000 resources lost for Geoff and 22 from Thor Smurf. Just absolutely wrecked it. 20 Thors went down. 20 of them. He hates his namesake. 6 Battlecruisers down. 32 Hellbats and 15 Hellions. 13 Ravens died. That is so many more Ravens than I thought. So many more Ravens than I thought. That was incredible. I don't even... Jeez. 50 drones got killed. That's more than I expected to. How many Broodlords? 6 Broodlords, 20 Corruptors, 12 Infestors. Doesn't talk about it. Infestors will die, but you're okay. And then just the 3 hatcheries went down, but look how many hatcheries are left in that bottom left-hand corner for ThorSmurf right now. It's got 8. 9. Does he have 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's got 9 bases, y'all. He is doing just fine. 86 workers on 9 bases. Yeah, he can pretty much handle whatever the Terran player is going to throw at him here. All right, so game number 1 is done. The sneaky twofer game. And number 2 coming your way. Don't go anywhere. Game 2 of the sneaky twofer is here on King's Cove, the ladder edition. Bottom right-hand corner, the red Protoss player, Froggy Dog. And in the top left-hand corner is the blue Terran player, Geoff. All right, Geoff is back against more of the Master Ladder. Master's Ladder with an S. This SCV is slightly suspicious. Let's follow him and see what he is up to. Passes the giant dragon skeleton with a lot of gold coins. Hey, if you take those gold coins, I'm sure they're worth something in the Caprulu sector. You could retire and live a life of luxury, Mr. SCV. Oh, hold on. This probe is also slightly suspicious. Well, maybe not. Just going right up the middle here. But that is definitely a proxy barracks. Here from Geoff. All right, this game is starting quite interestingly indeed. The proxy barracks here versus the Protoss player. Protoss is either probe scouting or going for a proxy of his own, but he does have the gateway back home. What a simulator back home here, too. And the probe's going to come in and see, all right, there's no barracks here. Clearly, there's a proxy somewhere. Or it could just be back here hiding, right? We see Terran players do this, especially at the pro level all the time, against Protoss opponents for the most part, where they're like, you think it's a proxy, but it's not. Aha! It's just really back here in my natural base. Made you freak out for nothing. You don't see that much at the lower levels, though, as it turns out. Anyway, moving around, probe trying to see, where is that barracks? There has to be a barracks or a command center or something. There's no way Geoff at this level of the game. Yeah, look at him checking back here, too. This is a very good Protoss player. I like that he's aware of what's going on. Meanwhile, Proxy Reaper on the way. Reaper's name is Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. Oswald was Walt Disney's original cartoon star until Mickey Mouse stole the spotlight, and Oswald found himself owned by another company. Oswald languished in obscurity until Disney brought him back for Epic Mickey Games. Then Epic Mickey 2 bombed, so Oswald was once again regulated to obscurity. After centuries being locked in the Disney vault, Oswald was released into the Reaper program. Not so lucky after all. He is going to get a probe kill, though. That's nice. Good scouting, too. Loving that. Loving the scouting. Like the probe harassment here against Geoff's SCV. Get on out, says. Get on out. Oh, and a factory down here, too. So the Reaper does take some time to kill that probe. So he's here, but not as early as he otherwise would be if he had ignored that probe. Zealot out, just to make sure that the Reaper has to work a little bit. And now a Stalker is just finishing. Once the Stalker is here, Reaper really can't do anything at this level. Sure, one Reaper at like silver or bronze could probably get a ton of stuff done, but not at this level, not when there is a Stalker present. Another Reaper is here. Are you still making those Reapers? No, definitely not. But throwing up a starport and getting an armory back home. What the what? What is this? Cyclone's got to be Cyclone push, doesn't it? That's what I'm looking at here. The Reapers find a probe. I mean, they've done some stuff out here on the map. They have map control. They have buildings out here. They have map control. Froggy Dog is expanding, which maybe is not the correct idea, considering the fact that Geoff has not expanded himself, and a one-basing Terran is pretty scary if you're a two-basing Protoss. At least for the next couple of minutes here. Obviously, Froggy Dog, if he does okay, can survive and have a better economy than Geoff does, and then suddenly Geoff is the one who is in trouble. But that, yeah, that's a tech lab, and we're definitely going to go for Cyclone? Cyclone, Medevac. That's what I'm feeling here out of Geoff. And, oh, it's a Thor. All right, never mind. We are going Thor drop on your opening against a Protoss player. What are these shenanigans? In fairness, Thors are pretty great against Stalkers. Zealots, too, not in equal numbers for Zealots, or equal value for Zealots, but there's only one Zealot, is what I'm saying. Oh, and Immortal's coming in here, too. This poor, that changes the whole equation. Is what that does. The Thor's going to show up. The Immortal's going to go, wha-bam, twice, and the Thor's going to be like, ow! Pick me up and take me home, Medevac. I don't want to do anything else here. I am done. Meanwhile, Liberator in production. Geoff is flying his barracks back home and building another barracks inside his main. Just kidding. No, that's the one he's just landing, isn't it? Yes, in fact it is. Chrono Boost is good, you guys. That Immortal is done and ready to rock. And here comes the Thor. That's an Artosis pylon if I ever saw one. Although another pylon is coming up. Chunk, 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 chunk. Yeah, see that Immortal? That is your cue to get on out. Oh, boy. You're staying here? I mean, sure, you're going to get some probe kills, but every shot you take from that Immortal hurts you immensely. The Stalkers are slowly whittling down your Medevac HP here, too. That's not good. Some Blink would be really great right now. I'm going to tell you that much. Probe's getting pulled, and the Thor does make an abrupt turnaround here to try to focus something down. But yeah, every shot on that Medevac just shuts it down here. So Geoff does not want to suicide any of his units. He comes back in. Never mind. Where's he even going? Where's that Warp Prism going? He's going to chase the Warp Prism around and try to kill it? That's hilarious. Ooh, Stalkers. Get the Medevac, and then just pick up and get on out of there. Thor tries to go into anti-air mode, that single target anti-air mode, but nope. High impact payload is not a thing if the thing is out of range. And now the Thor is going to die. Immortal, help. Look at this. Look at this Immortal go. Oh. Immortals, this is why you don't see Mech versus Protoss, you guys. This is the very exact reason, is because Immortals are so good versus them. Like, insanely, insanely good versus Thors. And insanely, insanely good against tanks and just everything else. Can't generally do it. Geoff's going to try to make it happen here. He's going for Widow Mines. He's got Liberators in the mix here, too. The Thor drop comes back around. Decent probe pool right now. A couple probes die anyway because they were on the gas. You know what would be really good is Blink. Blink would be incredible for Froggy Dog, but he's not researching it. He doesn't really have the tech for it either. He is being appropriately harassed almost to death here. I mean, I don't. Oh gosh, that. Oh, you don't need Blink if you got the Stalkers, man. Focus. Oh, got the Thor. And jeez, that's brutal stuff. Resources lost here. 1,700 for Geoff and 800 for Froggy Dog. So far, so good. I mean, it's a lot of lost mining time for Froggy Dog, but he hasn't lost many probes as a result. It's only been 9 for all the harassment we've been seeing here. Meanwhile, Geoff is sitting on 31 workers. He doesn't have as many as the Protoss player does, nor does he have an expansion, which, again, bad news the longer this goes on. But he is building a natural inside of his main. He can lift that off and move it, and a third base is also under construction as well. So what do we have? He knows. He doesn't know this is here. Froggy Dog does not know that these proxy buildings are here, but I kind of feel like they should. It's all good. Oh, Liberator shows up. Liberator, look at this Blink micro with the Warp Prism. It's kind of fancy stuff from Froggy Dog. You know, Froggy, I'm telling you, it'd be really, really great if you had Blink, but you're not going down any other tech paths at all. You don't really have much of an army here. You're spending your money okay. You got about 500 here. What is he even going to try to do right now? Trying to go for a third base. Is this? There's still a Thor down here and a Widow Mine ready to defend this proxy stuff if possible, if necessary. But Froggy Dog moving out, feeling like, okay, I'm doing all right for myself. We'll just take a well-known path and try to see what we can do up here at the natural base for Geoff. Ah, it is a Twilight Council. All right, so Froggy Dog recognizes, yeah, Blink's good. Another Liberator shows up. Where the heck are your Stalkers at home, man? He is spending his money, but it's all on tech and extra bases and probes, dude. He has nothing back home. He's actually wandering back with the one Stalker he has remaining. He has Warp, right? Yes. He's got Warp. Oh, he's a little supply blocked. He's just a little bit supply blocked here. He can only warp in one Stalker because he's supply blocked. These 2 Stalkers are going to have to walk. Oh, boy. You're dead. That was a suicide Stalker if I ever saw one. Immortal wandering on in, too. No, why are you... Froggy Dog, you're kind of killing me, buddy. Fusion core on the way. Geoff looks like he could be going for Battlecruisers again. Can the Immortal just come up a couple? Yeah, there you go. Gonna try to focus down the Immortal. At least force it away here. And Liberator has 5 kills. Liberator is down, though. That's massive. The Liberator died, which means coming back in with the Thor is a little bit harder to do. Geoff's continued harass is harassing. I don't know how else to explain this to you, really. Thor at the third base. Getting some shots off here on the Nexus. Widowmine's burrowing. The Thor is a little bit of bait right now. He's got 2 kills and exactly 23 hit points, which is not a big number at all. Charge coming in from Froggy Dog. I'm loving the charge. I still think Blink would be better. His army supply is just, it's 15 to 16 army right now. That is how insane of a game this has been. This Thor cannot kill this Nexus. Look at the recall with what? 3 Stalkers? All right, fair enough. 3 Stalkers was enough. That bonus to armored is a big deal. Widowmine, Jabba! Another one bites the dust there. Picks up and escapes with the Widowmines. Geoff, that was dirty. That was dirty is what that was. Geoff is not using his third command center for anything right now. He could probably land it, honestly. There's not much for Froggy Dog to counter with, although 4 Stalkers and an Immortal is not too shabby. Ooh, found the factory. About time. It's like, how are all of these buildings getting here? Well, it's
under attack.
Or how are all these units getting here? Well, they're born out of buildings, factories usually, and starports and stuff too. So that one manages to escape without burning down. This one is not going anywhere. It's trying to get a Battlecruiser out, but Immortals versus buildings is just not a fair fight. Immortals are a good unit, you guys. You should build them if you're Protoss. In all matchups, pretty much. And there we go. No Battlecruiser for you. Take your refund and get out of my face, says Froggy Dog. Resources lost. 3,100 for Geoff. 2,900 for Froggy Dog. Blink coming in. All right, I'm feeling better about the Protoss right now. He's got Blink. He's got Charge. Third base by Geoff has landed. He's throwing up a lot of missile turrets around it. Turtling a little bit, it seems. Starport, Starport, Starport. What? Is he sky terraning this? What? What is he? Maybe he's just going mass Battlecruiser. There's 1 in production right now, so why not? Now there are 2 in production, so why not? Okay, well, it's going to be mass Battlecruiser versus Protoss, which I have not really seen do a whole lot, honestly, because Tempests exist, and again, because Stalkers exist. Froggy Dog is throwing up a 4th Nexus right now at 10 minutes. Considering all the harassment he's been under, that's pretty good. Observer going to fly into his death, though. Oh, hang on. Maybe not. Well, nicely done. He stopped out of range of the missile turret. Well, stopped just barely in range and got out before he died, which is really good stuff there. Sensor Tower does not really protect the approach to the natural, and there's really nothing defending this here either. Although it is a planetary fortress at his natural base. A la Ketrock. This is a very Ketrock-style game, if you ask me. Templar Archives on the way from Froggy Dog. Not going to help him much against the Battlecruisers, if we're going to be honest. Does he know it's Battlecruiser at all? Does he have any kind of an inkling that's what he's dealing with right now? No. He didn't know what was being built out of that starport. It might have been better for him to actually let that Battlecruiser finish and see what it is. And know that he's dealing with Battlecruisers. Because right now, I mean, he's not really doing much to handle it. Void Rays are a great answer. Stalkers are a great answer in numbers. Tempests are a fantastic answer. Again, in numbers and with proper control. It seems like Froggy Dog might very well be able to pull that off. The Battlecruisers are wandering down. Got a bit of his Widowmine drop is still here. These, oh, hang on. Stalker ready, though. Stalker group is ready for that drop. And actually just wandering up with a few Stalkers. This is what I was talking about. Just wander up. There's nothing here to kill you. And the Battlecruisers show up. The Stalkers say, oh, yeah? We can take you. You're not so tough. And look at that. 1 Battlecruiser down instantly almost. No. Get it. Get it. Why are there probes here? What the heck is going on? I don't know why there are probes there. Widowmines do drop. Try to do some stuff, but they get wiped out there. I don't understand why there were probes wandering into the Terran base. I mean, they're dead now, but that was extremely confusing. Observer on the high ground using observation mode. Recognizing, okay, does he see? Oh, hang on, he's dead. He's dead because that missile turret provides a greater detection range than it can shoot. So it detected the observer and then the Battlecruiser finished it off. So at this point, Froggy Dog needs to be going for Tempests. I mean, he saw a Battlecruiser. He sees more on the way to jump. Reaction time for Froggy Dog is kind of incredible. But this 4th base is in a bit of trouble here. A spot of trouble now. Oh, there's Blink, though. Oh, there's the Blink. Yeah. High ground. Get to the high ground. Oh, barely gets to the high ground. 22 HP on that dude. Oh, splitting the Stalkers over. So these guys are stuck. This is where you build a fleet beacon and just start making Tempest. Cha-cha-cha. Come on, Froggy Dog. You can do it. I believe in you. I believe in you as a human being that you can build Tempest. Ooh, it is a fleet beacon. There we go. There we go. That's what I'm talking about here. Fourth base rather, for Geoff. Going to land up here at the 12 o'clock position. Working on more battle cruisers and working on +3 air weapons. I like these little zealots just kind of hanging out in the middle of nowhere, just letting the letting Ire know when the Terran threat is here. Is that a jump home? That is a jump home. All right, so they don't really do much. 4 kills and 6 kills is not nearly as good as the original 15 and 16 kill count of the first 2 battle cruisers. Disruptors on the way from Froggy Dog. What? Why disruptors? He's got 89 workers though. He is killing it economically. Got his 4th base. Got his 5th base up and running. Geoff has landed at 5th base too, and it's a planetary fortress. These players are keeping on top of each other economically fairly well. Tanks in production, and Tempest being pumped out 3 at a time. There we go. That's what we need here, Froggy Dog. 3 at a time here versus these battle cruisers. The battle cruisers can jump on you once, which is problematic, but you can flee from them too. A jump on top of your Tempest and a model cannon is fairly disruptive. But if you have enough stalkers protecting them, and if you have enough Tempest, it doesn't really matter in the long run. The battle cruisers are going to die anyway. So I kind of like this. I like what we're seeing out of Froggy. Going for a Dark Shrine, working on air upgrades himself, working on ground upgrades for both attack and for armor. 185 to 140 supply, 94 to 59 workers in favor of Protoss. That's an insanely huge number. Expanding again. Froggy Dog recognizing that, hey, if you want to deal with a Terran player who's going a mech style, you can expand a whole bunch. They can't really do much about it. Charge lots versus Reapers. Are these 2 Reapers the same 2 Reapers from the beginning of the game? I think they are. They're dead now, though. Way to blink on top of those dudes. Battle cruisers coming on down. Do they get spotted? Oh, gosh, no. They just barely don't get spotted. Now they are, though. Now they definitely are. Battle cruiser is here. And ready to rock. With all of his buddies. All right, so the Tempests need to stay out of the range of the battle cruisers. There's the Yamato cannon, though. Yeah. All right, killing a couple of them, but then the Blinkstalkers come in to clean it up and force the battle cruisers back home. Where, by the way, there are zealots going after this planetary fortress. I don't know, the repair is too good. They can't get it. And the battle cruiser showing up with their +3 attack means especially you're not allowed to get it here. So far, again, Froggy Dog making some pretty good decisions here. He was slow on the start here, but he's really starting to economically buff up right now. Making 5 Tempest at a time. Vikings in production +3. Vehicle and ground plating coming in now from Geoff. Froggy Dog almost has +3 attack for all of his ground dudes. And Zealots, once again, just not what you need here versus planetary fortresses, at least not at these numbers with these level of upgrades. But they scouted. They scouted and got murdered. Geoff is working on additional Thors. 1, 2. Battlecruisers continuing to be pumped here. Storm on the way. Now, I don't know that Storm's going to be all that great. And I guess if you can get some of these Hellbats stormed, it would hurt them quite immensely here. But it's a Stalker, Immortal, Tempest type situation. He's got an Oracle mostly for Revelation here. Not going to be for much of anything else. And there we go. That's what I'm talking about. The Hellions are scouted by the Zealot. They're heading over this way, and they should be intercepted. And by that, I mean now they're being intercepted. A little bit late, but better late than never. They will get to the point they need to before the Hellions can cruise on in and start roasting up a bunch of these probes at the natural base. Ow, 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 ow. This is so many battle cruisers. This is 11 BCs here with 2 more in production. He's going for 13 total, which is a humongous number. All right, battle cruisers, ready to rock. I mean, this Nexus does not seem long for this world. This is so many BCs with such good attack upgrades. Everything just kind of melts. The disruptors are useless. I don't know if there's enough stalkers to do much here, but that's what I'm talking. There you go. Wiping out the BCs, especially the ones that are trying to Yamato cannon you down. Oh, you can't turn that hard though. Oh, it dodged that one. Are you kidding? That Battlecruiser dodged that. Hellbats wandering in too. Is that the natural base? By golly, it is. Right into the natural base. They're going to take down this cannon. Not enough to stop them from murdering everything. Dark Shrine takes some shots there too. A slow warping of Stalker because this pylon is not touching a gateway or a nexus. And the Stalkers are just what you need to handle these guys, especially with their mobility and their ranged attacks here. I mean, Stalkers are pretty much the anti-Hellbat in a lot of situations for Protoss. Expanding on the right side now. So he did he lose a nexus? He didn't lose a nexus because the Stalkers came in to stop that from happening, but this is a good match. This is a really good, even match, it feels like right now. Good game for sure. 130 to 150 army supply. Resources lost here. 12,000 for Froggy Dog and 8,000 for Geoff. 4 Battlecruisers have died. 3 Thors have died, but 32 Stalkers and 5 Tempests and 41 Probes have been killed, which is why it's even more impressive that Froggy Dog has 85 workers and Geoff has 57. 57, man. That's not a lot for the 20-minute mark of this game, but I guess you don't need really full saturation on those minerals. It's really just mostly gas you're worrying about right now for these BCs, and by golly, he is. Fully upgraded BCs, everybody. Don't see these very often on the channel, so enjoy them while you can. Stalkers, that ball is not big enough to handle this. Look at them going after it, though. They're like, we got this! Run, everybody, get out of here! We're outnumbered massively, and there's the jump on top of the Tempest. You gotta juke the other way. Then the Yamato cannons come in. Ow, 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 ow. But still, look how many Tempests are left. You can just kite out of the way here, which he's not doing at all. He's trying to recall them home. Some of them manage to get out. Thor's wrecking everything else on the ground right now, and that was a decisive victory for Geoff. That is a 129 to 69 army supply left over after that battle in favor of the Terran player. And his Battlecruisers are not done yet. Not by a long shot. 5 kills, 3 kills, 11 kills, 4 kills. Another 3 kill here. And yeah, this 6th base is done. There's just no saving it. There's nothing here to save it at all. Tempests are in production, but you pretty much lost your entire army in that engagement, Froggy Dog. It takes some time to replace those guys. Even some Vikings in the mix, just kind of add insult to injury here. Thor's wrecking the 5th base down south. Is that a 6th base? And that was the 7th? I don't know. Numbering is hard. Stalkers, once again, trying to handle this. The Tempest doing pretty well for themselves. That Yamato cannon is off cooldown. The Tempests are not kiting at all. And you have to kite the Tempest against these BCs. Oh, man. All the Tempests are gone again. And the remaining Battlecruisers are just killing it. 22 kills, 17 kills, 11 kills. This is what I'm talking about. These are the BCs I am talking about right now. Thor's trying to take down a Nexus. Another one here for their kill count. 11, 5, and 13 kills on these dudes. Some Stalkers show up. And again, the upgrades are good for them. They have +3 attack too. But the Battlecruiser just kind of reigning supreme right now. The Tempests are finally being microed, but then the Yamato cannon shows up. And the Battlecruisers are forced to retreat on home there. Again, good to micro is a big deal, but that is it. That's your good game. Geoff takes it there. Army supply was 97 to 22. Several bases had been killed. Froggy Dog was down to effectively 1 mining base, with another one kind of coming up and 49 workers. Just didn't have the army to compete whatsoever and was forced to tap out. Carriers were on the way, which not actually the perfect answer. But that's okay. Yeah, 37,000 resources lost in the end for the Protoss. 19,000 for Geoff. 26 Tempests killed. 84 Stalkers in exchange for 14 Battlecruisers. I think that's a fair trade. I really think that was some really good trades out of Geoff there. 7 Thors went down. 16 Zealots got killed. 4 Nexuses, which is a huge number of bases to lose, especially if Geoff lost nothing by way of command centers or orbital commands or planetary fortresses. You got to slow down the Terran a little bit economically if you're going to do this here. And again, the Tempest control just wasn't as good as it needed to be. I think that was kind of the big deal here. Sure, the Battlecruisers can jump on you, but if you're kiting well, they can't jump all the time. Splits are pretty good. If you kind of ring the Battlecruisers, they can't jump onto all of you at the same time. It's harder for them to kind of jump on top of individual Tempest. Just more of a micro demand there. All right, cool. Good stuff, though. Love seeing Battlecruisers in both TVZ and TVP. A good time for sure. But that's going to be it from me. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. And a sneaky twofer. Nice job, Geoff, getting the win in that second game. Excellent Battlecruiser control, great macro, and a fun opening, too. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch. All at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.